Hello and welcome to Mastering in the Box, and in today's video we have another installment in the 5-minute mastering method series by taking a look at how we can avoid pumping with mastering compression. Hello and welcome to Mastering in the Box. I am your host Smudge, and in today's video we're going to take a look at how to avoid pumping with mastering compression. This week I was asked the question by my good friend Daniel, who's a member of the Studio One Facebook group. He asked, do I remove all of the low end from my masters? And the answer is no. So there are a few reasons why I don't generally do this as a matter of course, and just taking a step back, this is a technique that was actually employed back in the day when vinyl was the main medium for releasing music. So having too much low end on vinyl can actually cause the needles to jump between grooves. So the mastering engineers, what they would do is they actually employ high pass filters to remove some of the low end, and what they then do is also put the low end mono to create a better cutting experience, and then use the high pass filters for a better listening experience. There's some of the general basics. However, with modern distributions and the streaming, just removing the low end with a high pass filter isn't always necessary. I think we also need to consider that using filters in the mixing stage in modern mixing is so prevalent that I don't think we always need to consider it in the mastering stage if the mix engineers use filtering as part of the mixing process. But getting back to the topic of today's video, and something that I've seen in videos recently, is people advising to use a high pass filter to remove some of the low end to avoid pumping. And pumping is in essence, it's the build up of the low end which creates that effect of pumping through the speakers. Well, a lot of people have a misconception that pumping is caused by too much low end. It's not. It's actually caused by too much compression of the low end. So rather than removing the low end, we need to remove the compression of the low end. So we're inside of Studio One, and I've got the stock compressor set up here. We've got a gentle ratio of 2:1, default attack and release. And I'm just applying over compression just for the example that we're trying to set here. So let's take a brief listen. So the compression is really giving weight to that low end. The low end of the kick is much more energetic and a bit too lively. What do we do? Rather than using a high pass filter, let's apply a sidechain filter instead. And what the sidechain filter is going to do, in this instance we've got a low cut, so this is going to remove the compression from the low end, and it's going to remove it from 60 Hz and below, because that's the threshold that I've set here. So let's take another listen. So one thing that's very interesting here is just even by looking at the reduction that's being applied, when we apply the filter, the reduction is less. It's just not so much in your face. It's a much more gentle compression because it's not giving that pumping sound to the low end of the kick. So if you don't use Studio One, do not fear. I would highly recommend you get a copy of this. This is the TDR Kotelnikov Mastering Compressor from Tokyo Dawn Labs. It's amazing and it's free. What we can use here is the low frequency relax, which works as a slight type of filter. I've applied the frequency to 60 Hz and actually a 12 dB slope. So let's put this into flat mode. Let's take a listen and I'll engage the filter and we'll compare. It's some magic tonight. So there we have it, just applying that slope, it's just reducing that pump, and it's not giving us that energy in the low end. It's still giving us that subtle glue compression we want for the rest of the track, but we're not getting that unruly low end, we're not getting that over compression of the low end to give us a much more subtle compressed sound. So that's it for today's video. I hope you find this useful. If you do, please don't forget to give this a thumbs up and give it a like. And if you want to know more about digital mastering, then please hit that subscribe button below, and don't forget to hit that bell and select all so you receive notifications on all of our videos moving forward. All that's left for me to say is I hope you all keep safe and well, and I'll see you in the next video real soon.